Welcome back, everybody, to the Gears Esports Spring Major. We got our last and final match of the night, our losers bracket fight between two LATAM teams. It's the Pittsburgh Knights going up live against Rebel. Going to be a great matchup. Let's go ahead and talk through these rosters. Again, you know them, you love them. Starting with the Pittsburgh Knights. You just saw them on screen getting a little bit stomped out by the Kansas City Pioneers, but it's Raver, it's Dezonide, Monkyz, and Fearzly. Such a dominant and fearful roster, and you know they can bounce back. They will bounce back, especially going up against their rivals. On the flip side, it is Rebel, the rival of this PK squad, led by former member of the Pittsburgh Knights himself, Identivez, arguably the face of LATAM, although Dezonide would like a word. Crack, Kardia, and Xploidz, arguably the best sniper in Gears 5 right now to round out that team. And you saw them go to Game 5 against Team K, so they inched that one out, and that continues to be a story here, guys, right? It seems like every match that Rebel's been a part of has been a lot much closer for comfort, Ribs.
Yeah, but they're here. At the end of the day, you get those W's. Doesn't matter if it's close or doesn't matter if it's a 0-3 like we just saw with KCP just running over PK. You get there, you gain that confidence, and you're just happy to know that you're still in the bracket. Your bracket life is still alive. It could be the opposite, where you're pretty much just completely upset. You already left Discord, and you don't feel like talking to anybody.
Yeah, that's a great point. They're still alive, and it's to their credit. And you got to put some respect where respect is due. A win's a win. They made it. They're here. They're still in this tournament, and they still have a chance to win this one. But let's go ahead and talk through their keys to success, though. PK Rebel, I'm not sure who we're starting with, but nonetheless, it would be great to start to talk through each of these keys to victory here. Fran's keys to victory. Ryan, talk me through it.
Well, Ryan's not here, so I will do it. The other coach, yeah. Hi, I'm Ash. Anyways, Fran's keys to victories for the Pittsburgh Knights. We got to pretend, like I was saying earlier, the last match didn't happen. You cannot change history. Don't talk too much about it. Don't worry too much about it. It's done. It's over. It's in the past. Focus on what is in front of you, and that is Rebel. Additionally, they need to trust their instincts. They dominated Rebel in pool play yesterday, so they need to have this confidence that, hey, look, we beat these kids up before. We need to beat these kids up again, take their lunch money, and move on to the next round. That PK needs to have that confidence in themselves and can't be too shaken about the past.
That's the absolute truth. Well said, both from, of course, Fran and then Ash. You translated it really, really well. On the flip side, on the Rebel side, Ribs, not Ryan. Talk me through this one.
Yeah, of course, Rebel. Feed off the momentum, keep energy levels high for sure. You have to be feeling drained after multiple close series, but you must have a lot of momentum for you to be here. This is a good losers bracket run so far for Rebel. And then lead by example. Identivez must rally the troops. Let's be honest. I mean, Identivez was a part of this Knights roster. So was Kraken, even Xploidz. At some point, they've all teamed with like a form of Dezonide and a form of like Knights, Splice, or even Optic Mexico. They should have a chip on their shoulder, in their shoulders in general, wanting to take, like you guys were just talking about, the crown as the #1 Latin American team. Obviously, that only means so much when there hasn't been a Latin American championship, but this is a huge rivalry, and despite how tired they might feel, there's no reason why they should carry that into their gameplay.
And actually, I'd love to get your perspective on that, Ribs. You know, people talk about fatigue in gaming, and some people say, "You're crazy. You're playing games. How could you be fatigued?" But certainly, it's mentally taxing. But in tournament time, if you're kind of championship caliber, if you're in championship mode at this point of the day, are you a little worn out, or are you ready to lock up after a 5-game or 5-map series like that?
It's definitely different from player to player, and there's a level of preparation that comes in with that. Just like a normal athlete, you have to be able to have those long runs, and you have to be willing to. But yeah, it is definitely a mental fortitude type of thing. Not every player is built for these long runs. And Ashes, you've been part of teams that we always said had great reserve tanks. What can you really say to that? Is it a physical thing, a mental combination, or is it just like a heart and will type of thing?
I think it's a D, all of the above. You know, when we've made our losers bracket runs, it's always been a challenge, and you have to first kind of start off with a reset. We always started off with just a team powwow where we talked about, look, like this is not, that wasn't us, but moving forward, we're going to show us. So you got everybody into that same mindset. Look, we're all here for the same goal. We all want to hoist that trophy at the end of this tournament. Let's focus in on that. And then it comes down to what you were practicing leading up to the event. Were you just kind of lackadaisically going through the motions in scrims, or were you getting on and working towards a goal, working towards improvement, and really feeling tired after scrims? Because if you're feeling tired after scrims, it means you're exercising that brain. It means you're raising that base level of gameplay. So when it is a little bit tough, maybe you can relax a little bit and still be at that top level. So if these guys been practicing really well, that's what we're going to find out in this losers bracket match.
That's a good point. Of course, it'll all tell here in just a moment as we jump in. Pick bands are ready, though, so let's go ahead and kick that off with the bands. Ribs, what are we seeing?
All right, we're going to see Rebel get rid of District Control on the side of the Knights. They ban Reactor Control, Canals Execution. Obviously, we know Xploidz loves Canals. We don't want to take Rebel or Rise there ever. Afira Execution being banned by Rebel. That's a good ban. We know how strong the Knights can be there. And Harbor Escalation will be banned. So we know we have either Vasgar or Training Rounds coming up. You know which one I'd rather see, but I already hear production sighing, so I know that it's probably going to be Vasgar. As we go to the picks, Ashes, surely you could take us through this.
Yes, every time I introduce picks, we start off with a Regency control. So we'll start off with a Regency control picked by Rebel. Moving forward into a checkout execution, we just saw Rebel play that going to the very end of that match versus Team Queso. Will PK be able to match that energy? It's their pick, so I'm thinking they think they can. Vasgar Escalation, again, does not need to be introduced. We all know that map. It's everybody's favorite. And then going to a Speyer control for map 4, picked by the Pittsburgh Knights. This is an interesting one to me. I know they played it previously in this tournament, though I don't know how well they did. I think they won it, but it's going to be interesting because I haven't seen Rebel on Speyer control. So I think Pittsburgh Knights has done their homework and they've scouted that out, knowing that that's a map that they can probably take. And then, of course, Clocktower Execution if we need it for that game 5.
No, that's going to be it. So based on what we're seeing here, any kind of thing anything that stands out to your, Ribs, is maybe one advantage for one team or the other? Any insights?
Well, I know I want to favor Knights winning this matchup just in general. It doesn't matter what maps there are. On the side of Rebel, if they are going to win this series, I feel like they have to take that first map. I don't feel too confident for them winning checkout, even though I just saw what they're capable of on that map. And then Vasgar, I'd want to say the Knights, but the Knights played so terrible versus KCP. But we just talked about this is a new matchup. Can't remember that KCP match if you're PK right now. You could learn from it. This is a completely different matchup. But yeah, I want to say it favors the Knights. The cycle on paper should favor the Pittsburgh Knights.
All right, well, I think I know which way you're going, but let's jump into predictions here. Ribs pretty much just said he's picking the Pittsburgh Knights. Ash, how about you?
You know, Identivez may be the acclaimed king of LATAM, but I think Pittsburgh Knights are the kings of LATAM. I think they are the ones who are going to win this matchup, and I have them taking it 3-1.
PK 3-1. I'm going to join you with that prediction, and actually identical. 3-1 Pittsburgh Knights. I think Rebel obviously just grinded something out. Maybe they have some momentum, but at the same time, Team Queso going to game 5, struggling that much against a squad like Team Queso, and that's a different level than Pittsburgh Knights. I think the Pittsburgh Knights are going to regather themselves, recompose themselves, learn from the mistakes of the match against KCP, and win this one 3-1 as well. But nonetheless, look, we've been proven wrong before. This is Gears Esports, right? We are more than familiar with upsets and all types of crazy things happening, especially on Saturdays and especially in the championship bracket. So if you're a fan of Rebel, Identivez, and the boys, I know a lot of you stand with Identivez as the king of Mexico. Let us know in the chat right now. Let us know who you want to win, Rebel or the Pittsburgh Knights. But we're going to jump to a very, very quick break. When we come back, we'll have our casters live. It's going to be PR and Colin once again to call the action right after this.
You ready to get this thing kicked off for a little bit of interregional rivalry? The Pittsburgh Knights versus the Rebellion, the Rebel Boys, for the chance to move on. And our final matchup of the night, Jacob. You ready for this one, boy?
I'm born ready for this one because this is like the El Clasico. When it comes to that Latin America, you have the king, Identivez, that really led by example throughout the entirety of the region through many different Gears of War titles, about to be overthrown, or at least potentially by the same players. When he won that championship, he went right back into those arms with the secrets, with the recipe for success. He wasn't able to win it with those guys, but now the chip is on their shoulders. The Pittsburgh Knights, after a devastating loss of the winner side, they have to show it. They have to prove it, because they can say it all they want, Colin, but the actions will speak louder than the words.
Oh, it will. That's why I'm doing my menacing evil genius hand rub.
The actions, Jacob.
We can make a pause.
The actions. The actions will speak louder. And any words that have ever been said, they will be louder than any explosion, any bomb, any nuke, anything that's ever gone off on this earth. The actions of the Knights or the Rebel team will be louder than those words. Yes, they will. Yes, they will.
Trying to go back on and look at some of these picks and bans just so I can get us right on the right track, man, because you steered us off so far away from the plan in which I had coming into this one from the commercial break. But let's get back to those picks and bans. You see, it's District going to be banned away by Rebel, and I like that because Pittsburgh Knights have a lot of experience, but that one's going to be fired back by a ban from Reactor. Looking at it, this one seems personal, and they want to catch them as much as possible on those weak maps. So it's interesting that you're going to see the ones that are picked out throughout this series, Colin. We're going to see map number 1 looking like it is going to be Regency, followed by Checkout, Vasgar, Speyer, and Clocktower. So when I look at these maps, the meat of it in the middle, Checkout, Vasgar, and Speyer is going to be very, very aggression-based. Regency and Clocktower are the 2 N ones. That's when you're going to be allowed to do a little bit more teamwork into that mix. So Colin, when you look at this picks and bans, who do you think has the upper hand? But keep in mind everything that you've seen so far, particularly that last match the Pittsburgh Knights were in.
Pittsburgh Knights have an upper hand. They have little brothered them for a long time now, and I genuinely don't see it stopping anytime soon. I'm going to be honest with you, Jacob. They have played so well up until that Pioneers matchup that I think that they have the maturity. I think that they have the mental fortitude to kind of wash that away. I think for them, that's the bigger worrying part, is just the idea that they are now faced with the same thing that a lot of teams are faced with, which is that mental block against the Pioneers in a major tournament. They got to find a way to get over that hump.
Yeah.
Because they can get over this one. This isn't even like a hump. This isn't even like a mountain to them. It's kind of like a molehill, like on a stroll, and they're like, they step on it. You know how sometimes you step on those little like gopher holes where it just like it flattens underneath you because the ground's so loose. You know what I'm talking about?
Look down like, what was that? You just keep it going.
That's what's about to happen. That's what's about to happen, I think.
See, honestly, that's a great point. And when you kind of go business as usual, what's written down on the paper, I got to agree with you 110%. But after what I've seen from the Pittsburgh Knights, I'm concerned. I'm scared to kind of give it my all and say they're going to be definitively the victors at the end of the day, because we can see that same performance. On the other side, though, Rebel, they've been working through inconsistencies. They know what it's like to have nothing go your way and still have to fight from behind. So for them, they have their backs up against the wall in previous matches that they've already won. So this one, for them, I think they have a little bit of upper hand right out of the gate. If they can hold on to that, build the momentum, and get themselves a lead that hopefully the Knights can't climb out of.
I mean, if anybody wanted an upper hand in any gaming scenario they find themselves into, they might as well get on over to astrogaming.com and get tournament ready with the official audio sponsor of Gears Esports, Astro Gaming. Early in this one, Identivez is already down to the triple answer. Now Fearzly's going to be walking it to him with a teammate to his right. 2 in, 2 out. 1 kill. No, not even 1 kill answered back.
Nothing. Zip. Nada. Zilch. Everything but that, as the M-bar is going to be picked up, though, in the hands of Identivez. He's been pretty deadly so far. Connects with another body shot onto Dezonide. Has to be careful as everybody's being forced to revive. The grenade's going to be used, not in the way that he wanted, but in a way that allows him to survive.
Identivez is going to try to backtrack out here onto the right side of this map, toward the respawn area, toward that P2 side of the map. Big shots on by Monkyz. Now has a 1v1 against Identivez. Looking to try to shut, or excuse me, not Identivez, against Xploidz. Shuts him, gets shut down by him, saving Identivez and the M-bar for him to be able to rotate into P2 with. It'll be about 50-1, give or take a few points depending on how long the Knights stay there.
Look at it right now. You see Fearzly just putting out that Lancer fire. And I like how he's not necessarily capping the hill, because he wants to make it believe like they're probably trying to go for a rotation. And now he spots multiple players barreling down, trying to reinforce. And that's the big mistake by Rebel. They gave up all their positioning. And for what?
Let's see what they can do here as a couple of downs come through. All of a sudden, the Knights are able to get into the hill, start racking up the points even further. And we'll be looking down toward Kardia, who is waiting for possibly the new shot grenade to respawn, just bouncing around the Rose Garden, trying to keep himself a little bit of a threat down here.
challenging toward Fearzly anyway. And Fearzly, I mean, just keeping his eyes locked onto him. Up top of the hill, Dezonide's got a good Lancer angle, gets a ton of damage on the Crack and Identivez. Identivez rotates back. He's going to be full red, so he's going to have to set down. Crack is going to get one, but he's going to get traded out. Double bounce in. Raver fakes the second up A. Will continue to play the down and damage game with a teammate. They get the kill. They continue to hold on to the hill, and this is early success for the Pittsburgh Knights. 40 seconds to go. Xploidz finally finds a kill and is finding a chance to get back into this hill to try to neutralize it at least.
And early on, Kardia was able to get that 1v1 on the neutral, giving his teammate that quick spawn point, so the reinforcements were well on their way. And you can see the plan in mind. PK waiting for the respawn weapons, but Monkyz waiting in the smoke. He gets taken down by Kardia, who didn't even see him coming. Now the position, the opportunity for the M-Bar is going on over to Rebel. As long as they continue to play their cards right and looking like it's due. All the eliminations, all the downs falling in their favor. But Dezonide looking like he's trying to make a play happen. Unfortunately enough, that's just too much too soon.
See if they can get back into this one. 90-14. Rebel already on the right side of the map. They have the close respawn in hand. Crack has 6 M-bars to be able to use as they push back into this hill. Revving it up here, trying to get the full charge, getting ready to go. Hasn't found a target just yet. One player's rotating to the big stairwell. He's going to be met by Xploidz. Big body shot there by Crack, gets the finishing blow. Now looks toward Monkyz. Can't get that one to go, but Monkyz finds it down, finds the meat shield. He's going to get downed out by Crack. Quick little revive comes out. Rebel needs to find a kill here. Kardia bouncing around. He's going to be challenged up by Raver. Raver just roadie strafing back and forth, keeping himself out of harm's way. Gets the shot over the top for the kill. Right back into the hill. The Knights continue to find success.
Steamrolling right now. The momentum continues to build and fall in their favor as Identivez gets caught out by himself. Soon Crack is going to follow as the Lancers and the teamwork is just on another level. It looks like the Pittsburgh Knights have taken that loss and came out for revenge. Unfortunately enough, it's Rebel who's getting hit with the Mack truck.
Looking to try to get more kills here. Fearzly looking forward of his teammates. 2 of them down. Monkyz on the 90-degree angle here. A ton of damage being put out. There's the quick pick on the revive, but he tries to go for the trade out. Won't be able to get that one. 3 down and dead. 40 seconds left on this hill. Knights could have very easily stayed in that position to try to continue to amass points, but they've tried to play out for the close respawn. They're not necessarily threatened at all at this point in the juncture of this point in the map. They could easily rotate toward P4. Try to get to the T-table. The new respawned M-bar. Try to get set up for that next. Which is what it looks like they're exactly doing.
They have to come back here onto this one. Third hill, they're trailing by a ton. This one, even though they only have 37 points, was the most they gained off of one hill at any moment at one time. As Monkyz gets red, or Identivez and Crack, they're trying to follow up, and these two guys are doing their darndest to work together as the 2 main slayers of the squad, and they pushed back just far enough for Xploidz to get those frag grenades in his hands, and already you see the rotation being made. They're trying to catch the players off guard, because you think early on they forced the rotation out.
Fearzly looking across this set of tables right here. Around the bookshelf, gets the wrap for the down, and then the single shot chunk out after he's downed and crawling around. Fearzly still playing the 1v1 position here. Dezonide was down. Misroll by Identivez. You don't see that often, so you got to take advantage of it. Big kill comes through there. Xploidz down inside of the hill. Knights solidify their position here to play defense going into P4. They're already up by about 80 points to 90 points, and they're going to try to make that even further as they are just 5 seconds away from a 100-point clubbing Rebel yet again and continuing forward in this matchup.
And points has been achieved in terms of the lead as Dezonide's fought multiple members. Knows Fearzly's there on the flank. The cross is going to be there, but revives are out. Identivez makes him pay, but Dezonide quickly switched on over the M-bar, begins to put to work. Raver gets one as well. Monkyz and a couple players are just angling them out, not giving them a chance to breathe, and even getting the revive on his fallen teammate. 40 more seconds left onto this hill. Rebel, they know this isn't just scrap time, so they have to make another contestation on it while making a rotation on the other side of the map.
Now of finding more success, top left-hand side where P2 spawns. They get the call out that most of Rebel has started to rotate that side to try to go for the new hill, try to get set up for a good defensive stand, try to get to the 100-point club. Instead, the Knights are pushing back against him. Revives are coming through, revving up the M-bar. Dezonide hits a body shot, can pull out the stub to go for the down. Instead, angles out a pretty big L trigger, gets one, goes for the roadie strafe. Oh, with an accidental hop. He's going to drop. Now Xploidz has to make sure he doesn't get wrapped. He will get away from that first shot. Rebel
They have won a little engagement here and are going to push back into the teeth of the Knights as they start to set up for the bottom side of the hill.
Ooh, Dezonide taking so much damage trying to help. Monkyz tries to catch him off guard, but he gets slapped right back down as they're trying to regenerate the health, but they cannot, as multiple members of Rebel are just continuously pouring into the hill and making them pop up out of cover so the damage can continue. And you see the rotation with all the members down on the Knights. That's going to be Identivez going all the way around the map, collecting all the weapons like Pokemon because he has the frags, he has the end bar, he has everything he needs. It's about execution from here on out.
Now we see here, Identivez, M-bar in hand, 6 shots to go. Big body shot on a Raver. That'll slow him down very quick, fast, and in a hurry. Now looking for another shot toward the back end of this fight. Sees that player on the cover. Smokes are coming out. They're trying to cloud up the coverage, cloud up the lanes. 40 seconds left. Could get them into the 100-point marker and get it to within 63. Shots on now, coming down the bottom of the stairwell, looking for the angle through the bushes there. Won't be able to find that one. Revs one up toward Fearzly. Assumed he was going to go to the cover. Misses that one, but he gets the down. He gets the roadie strafe. Turnaround, 3 in, 3 out. Knights, they lose that engagement.
Definitely tightening up. The spawn point goes over to the Knights. They have a few seconds of advantage as they begin to rotate on over, but with only 24 seconds on the clock, they're going to take that victory in stride and begin to rotate on out. But Xploidz, he gets caught out of position. The teammates had nothing they can do to try to turn back and help him because they realize the hill and the spawn point on the other side of the map are 10 times more important than that life. And you see Identivez spreading the love and the joy, tossing those frags on over to his teammate.
Crack looking in here toward the middle stairwell, trying to find an example to be making out of someone. Next hill will spawn up behind him. Rebel has had 2 little good defensive stands here. They've cut into the lead just a little bit, not as much as they'd probably like to. And toward Fearzly, shot missed. 1 last shot left in the chamber for Identivez. Will be looking for somebody to use it upon. Preferably looking for a kill, looking for a lot of damage here. 1 player stacked up toward the middle stairwell, 2 at the close respawn. This is going to be a pretty interesting retake by the Knights because the Knights going to have to be picture perfect. They need a kill to force out the respawn of the Rebel boys. Revving it up and finding Fearzly on the up A. Big kill from Identivez. Another one comes through with the frag grenades. And ladies and gentlemen, Rebel, they have flown back into this game 1 fight at a time.
40 seconds left, though. Raver making some noise towards the spawn point. That's going to help as Dezonide is right back into it. Monkyz on the other side, along with Fearzly, working together, collecting all the weapons on right back. That's an M-bar, that's frags, and that's Dezonide taking out Kardia as well. The tables have turned, and all that great comeback story has come to an end for now. We can definitely put that one on pause. The Knights are now collecting that scrap time that's left and also catching a couple players on rotation. That's going to open up that window of opportunity as everybody goes back to Rose Garden, the hill where we began.
Now another attempt comes out. Fearzly rotates back off into the side of that stairwell. 10 seconds left. Could get him up over the 200-point marker if they hold on to the entire thing. 3 shots left. Body shot comes out. There's the down. Revving up the M-bar. Goes for the heady on the revive. Isn't able to get that one. So now looking for a shot over the top. Won't be able to get that one either. Playing through the backside of the Rose Garden is Dezonide. Tons of damage being put out by him. Goes for the kill with the Lancer. Beautiful job. Raver with a headshot of his own. 2 in, 2 out. Looking for a third. They've got him like a bird in a hand. And now only player left alive was Crack. He's down. And he's out in the middle of the map at the Garden. Now we'll see everybody have to come off of respawn to try to come back into this initial fight. 2-14 and counting to 126. The Knights still hold into complete control of this matchup.
Players pushed in just to grab that position. It's going to be both Xploidz and Kardia. 3rd one rotating on over. Frag grenades going out just to stall for time. Flashes as well to try to make that their entryway. And the kills are being picked up. 2 for each team. So it's going to come down to a 2v2 here. But the hill and that positioning is going to favor Rebel. So as long as this one stalemates, they'll be able to collect some points and try to cut down the lead. But the separation begins. Players on 2 different pages. Monkyz goes down. Revive's going to be forced out. Monkyz has another chance at life. But that same result's going to happen along with Fearzly as well. A complete shutdown with all the scrap time going over to Rebel. But you can see a play by Xploidz. He catches Dezonide in La La Land to set himself up for the next hill as well.
Two players inside of that hill already. One of them playing to the backside. Identivez will throw a flash to the front side of the hill, looking for the attempt to get the stun, and the Lancer fire back onto him. Xploidz full already, goes down. Identivez is stunned. No chance of the revive. Gets hit with a brick, but turns and burns, and then up pays on to Fearzly. Rebel on the back of some incredible momentum plays from Identivez and Xploidz have kept themselves alive. This could have been over minutes ago. Could have been over a while ago, Jacob. Identivez refuses to go down. The man is fighting like his life depended on it.
This push started in a 3v4, and it was looking good for a moment, but the Wolfpack is too strong from the Pittsburgh Knights, and they even caught Xploidz out very, very early on rotation. I gotta imagine if it was Dezonide. I didn't see it particularly in the elimination feed, but you could see in your minimap, the close spawn is gonna get to Rebel, so they're not gonna waste any time going back to the scene of the crime.
Raver bouncing around, looks for the extra shot on. Here comes the other players from Rebel over the top of the window. Dezo gets one big shot there to get that cleanup on the blind fire. Now Monkyz on the 6 o'clock. Needs to find this down, at least on the Kardia. Does find the down, but oh, baby. Rebel's got the close respawn. They're going to get there first. Pittsburgh Knights will get inside of the hill, throw their smokes to the backside. Fearzly's marked. He's going to have to go to the front side of that counter. He's going to get shot on from the left-hand side, 45, but here comes Xploidz through the big door, trying to get the first down. Gets the first down to go. Now rotating in. Big shots on, looking for another one, but already skedaddling out of there. Dezonide has gone down to the bottom side of the map toward where the fragmentation grenades spawn, and possibly on an early rotation toward point 3, 247 to 160. 25 points to go on this hill. They will try to get another set of kills here. Identivez looks for that next one. There it is. Monkyz will get the shot on there. Now another one to go. Getting the extra damage out. Won't be able to get the downs just yet. And this is going to be an interesting situation. Stacked up here at the frag grenades. Dezo maybe tries to rotate in a little too early. Tries to go for the free pick. Both of them missing stand-up shots. But it will be Crack that wins it and gets the frag grenades as a gift.
Mag's gonna go out. Is he gonna be able to get it? I do believe he is. That's gonna double kill. That and more. N-Bar is now out of play as well. So everything they fought for is down and out, and the rotation is imminent. It's immediate. It's so quick that they're gonna be able to cement themselves on the hill and the spawn point while gathering all the information. They spot out Fearzly. The indication of the shot grenade lets them know where Dezonide is at as well. And it looks like an all-out push at the lower portion of the map.
Crack to the backside of this cover now, looking for first player to push in. That's going to be Monkyz. Snub out, gets a ton of damage onto him. He has to pull back. Body shot galore. Dezo down. Another one through and true. Fearzly's going to find at least a double kill there. Looking for more. Trying to find a third, but he'll get shut down by Kardia. It'll be up to yet again Monkyz to stay alive and to extend the battle, but he goes down onto the respawns. Rebel will not give up. They will not go down without a fight, and they will not go quietly into the darkness as the Knights need 46 seconds. Rebel has officially crossed the 200-point threshold, so there will not be a 100-point club victory for the Knights, and I'm not sure I would have guessed that based on how the early portions of this game had gone.
Yeah, 23 seconds. They're leaving all that time left on the hill because they want multiple opportunities if the first one doesn't work for them to try to get themselves past enemy lines, but you can see it's going to go back to that top middle hill where Dezonide is already set up. Monkyz is close by. Everybody from Rebel are scrambling, trying to figure out where the push is going to come from because the information, I do believe they lack a few pieces of it.
Looking for another set of slays. Monkyz on the front side of that pillar is going to get down. Now Dezo goes down. This has been a nightmare for the Pittsburgh Knights for the past 4 to 5 minutes. 215 to 254 already in the next hill. Rebels waiting for the T-table to spawn up. Got Identivez already set up as well at the backside. Xploidz waiting at the nades. He's going to go for the quick pick to try to get out. Snub fire is there, but not enough to get the down. He's going to have to continue to just run. Just drop him at your feet if you want. Goes for the melee. He went for the stick. Identivez somehow got the shot with the N-bar. Help is only minutes away, yet they're doing everything right here. Xploidz, you got to think he still has a frag grenade in his pocket, and it does look like Rebel have an opportunity to take the lead away from the Pittsburgh Knights, who are once again crumbling before our eyes. Knights struggling in this instance here. You see them rotating around the map, trying to scatter, trying to just find a set of kills. They need to set up together. This is one of those situations where we see a team start to struggle and then everybody just takes fights one after the next. Somebody solos out and then goes down early.
Identivez revving the M-bar, misses that last shot in the chamber, and now they'll push into the hill. They have officially lost the lead here by about 12 seconds or so. Looking to continue to get that back. They're actually going to play off into the next hill. They're going to rotate out of there. They know that they can't lose on this hill, but they can certainly try to win it on the next one. One down comes through. Chunk out, Crack and Xploidz both getting a big kill. Now Raver tries to fly. He gets greedy. He goes after a revive, and now Fearzly's all by his lonesome. Jacob, are they just handing the map over?
On a silver platter, Colin. They cooked it up nice, little bit of spice, a side of rice, and they're feeding these beasts that Rebel is coming out. That's a whole army that you kept talking about, and they're hungry for more. They're hungry for this comeback, and they have to try to stop these weapons. They know they're not going to be able to, but it's that pre-fire damage that's so important that Blaze always talks about.
Pre-fire damage indeed. Crack putting out Lancer damage to the bottom side of that map. He's going to get back into the hill now. He's got 2 players with him. They are set up in a pretty perfect defense here, a triangle defense. 1 player at the front, cover, 1 to the right, 1 to the left. Here comes the shock. Bouncing into the hill. It will not get any connections on Crack. Crack's still the first line of defense. Pumpity missiles right in front of him. And if this gets shut down right here, if they don't get a couple of kills, Jacob, MVPR from the depths of the abyss. They were damn near at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. They were as low as humans have ever gone. Rebel finds themselves, finds their fortitude, and finds a map 1 victory.
Taking everything that they've learned throughout the weekend and putting it to work right here, right now. It didn't matter how bleak it is. They took Fran's keys to victory serious, and the king of Latin America, you gotta believe with everything that you got, he led by example. And Xploidz, Crack, Kardia, everybody playing their part as the Rebel army stands strong.
Not today, said Rebel. We will not go down without a fight. An incredible map 1. We're going to see a tale of 2 maps. Look, normally we get those back and forth highlight reels. Here's a guy, there's a guy from the other team. Here's a couple of kills from this team. Here's a couple of guys from the other team. Fat Tony Solano makes an appearance. You never know who's going to come out of the wings. But I'll tell you on this one, you're probably going to have 3.5 minutes of the Knights and then about 3.5 minutes of Rebel. Because what you're going to get in these highlight reel packages is a whole lot of good coming out of the Knights early and a whole lot of great coming out of Rebel toward the ending portions. They solidified, they unified, they dignified their organ themselves with probably an emotional and one of the best comebacks I've seen given the circumstance. Comebacks in Pro League are nice. Comebacks in the early goings of pool play even better. But losers bracket round 1 to take a 1-map lead to try to get your opponent a little shaky, them things matter.
Matters oh so much. You're seeing in a lot of these replays, they're quickly asserting themselves when they have that advantage, right? And I don't know why, with such a massive lead, the Knights weren't able to take any of those moments, breathe for a second, get the information, and work together as a team, especially when that late game started to happen and Rebel began to pull away. They just funneled themselves in 1 by 1 by 1 and forgetting a lot of those fundamentals that they've learned over the years.
Identivez was just a man on a mission. I know Xploidz gets the MVP, but it seems like every time we had Identivez on his screen, he was putting people to the bricks, man. He was sending them packing, sending them home. Take me out of there. Get me over to Pittsburgh Knights and Rebel. Let's make Ink and chat happy. Let's show Rebel and Knights. Bring it to the big screen because it looks like the Knights, they're fighting back. They got the first round under their belt. They're going to try to take this whole entire map number 2 to try to tie this bad boy up.
Just trying to look at who got that first blood. It's going to be Fearzly leading the charge with the rest of the roster. Overtime hill, if it comes down to it, is going to be in electronics this round. So if somebody gets eliminated, you're going to see them try to back off, backtrack, and try to save face. But that's a big if because all 4 players from both of these teams making their way towards the checkout. Xploidz going out wide. They're trying to take as much of the position as they can and get the sniper in hands. And they have to now because Raver got those instants in hand, dishes the first one out. Xploidz gets dropped. They're trying to even it up, and they do with Crack getting that elimination on the Dezonide.
Identivez backside of the checkout lanes, goes to pick the long shot, gets it off. Down comes through on Monkyz, looking for the reviving headshot, gets it to go. 2 more players in his sights, all up to Monkyz in a 3v1. Now Monkyz stuck in the middle of a rock, a hard place. Dwayne Johnson and Mount Rushmore and a couple of gold bullion bars. He ain't got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He's gonna get taken down, and Rebel showing the love.
That's how you answer back right there. And for Knights, that first one wasn't convincingly in favor of Rebel. They just had one fantastic, amazing comeback that did go happen, but back-to-back first bloods, and that's what happens here. When you get that first blood, if you're quick and react fast enough, you're going to turn that into second, into third blood without a fight back from any one of your opponents.
Coming into this next battle, being pretty impressive one, pretty important one. Takes the lead here in map number 2. Looking for the rollout. Xploidz trying to get onto the 90 degree here, trying to make something happen, trying to help out a teammate. Identivez with a big headshot there. Now looking for the body shot on the opposite side. 2v2 situation. Crack has the damage advantage on the opposite side of the map. Wrap shot by Identivez misses. Second shot is clean. They're going to leave him to think about what he's done. Oh my God.
That's classic Identivez. Even though the match and ground is still in progress, waste no time. Showboat really letting his opponents know what he thinks about him, as Fearzly taking a few seconds of separation to his advantage, but Crack knows he cannot bite off more than he can chew in terms of positioning. They're going to try to collect them all, but Identivez doesn't even let it be a possibility. He connects with back-to-back headshots in the round. He's ill, not
Nasty.
sick.
That was ill, baby. That thing was so nasty and so stanky. I might have to go get that Fearzly. Hold on, the Fearzly is still in here. I ain't even got to go nowhere.
I want to hear it. Oh, I heard it. What's the
Made
flavor?
my whole mic
Or the
smell
scent?
like. My wife chooses this one. She likes Lennon and Sky.
Ooh, we love that one over here. Love that one over here.
Big Lennon and Sky.
Sky's the limit for these two teams, as Rebel has a round lead, but Xploidz goes down first. Sniper in the hands of Dezonide. He connects almost instantaneously. Revives are being forced out. No eliminations being picked up just yet, as Crack is surviving here. And Rebel, they're doing a good job of holding on to their backline as well. They're trying to return to the scene of the crime, but Identivez goes down once more. Quickly revive back up. You see Monkyz going down. Somebody hit the panic button, because right now it seems like it's PK lighting up the kill feed.
Looking for the opportunity to get one more kill. Kardia bounces in. He goes down, and the Knights, they'll ensue their own love fest here. It's a love shack, baby. Oh, they got the big gold line on the ground too. Oh, he said, you ain't got none of that. Why you hitting yourself? 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 Nope, I'm hitting.
Minute and 7 seconds. That's all it took for the Pittsburgh Knights to win that round and tie it up. And it's great to kind of see that they have that life, the gas left in the tank, that doesn't matter what happens on these maps. They're still giving it their all, not going down without a fight. And that was something I needed to see after that winner's bracket match.
Another opportunity here to try to take the lead for both teams, all tied up 2-2. Coming into this next fight, looks like both teams will send all 4 players up here. Flash is going to come out. Xploidz is going to go to the top side of the incendiaries. We'll get the pick onto him, trying to get away with them as well. Monkyz down low with the long shot, looking for an angle here at the player at the top of that platform. Flashes are out. Monkyz still holding on to his shots. Gets one body shot, but the incendiary does not connect on the opposite end of things. So now Monkyz and the rest of the Pittsburgh Knights will be knotted up on this side of the map. Everybody from the Knights looking to try to push over. Dezonide picks up the new fragmentation grenades, and that might be the turnaround that they need to try to get this one to go.
Down. Nobody's able to revive it, and they're not going to be able to with the frag grenade going. Oh no, he survives. He's going to be able to tap up as well. Dezonide with an instant chucked at him. He's going to have to dodge out of that one. Monkyz connects with another shot onto Xploidz, but you can see Identivez is back up and ready for action.
Monkyz trading it out. There you go, Raver. Raver, can you do half as good as Identivez? I'm going to get into real close to the mic. We're getting a little PGA Tour commentary for you right here. Good scenic shot here. Shout out one time, the observer. Voice of God, who's observing this for us?
Bad guy!
Mr. Jordan Ribs Ribeiro with a beautiful scenic shot showing us exactly how all 4 players are split across the map. 1 on the platform, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Everybody on a checkout lane.
Raver with a long shot. Moving up his very front line. That's a pretty dangerous spot for him to be in. He's not afraid of no ghost. He didn't even need to call the Ghostbusters. He's going to slide in, backslide towards those fridges. Won't be able to get the shot on. Now looking to try to get this first kill here. I think the most important thing is if anybody pokes their head up to try to stop him from getting his new incendiaries, it's going to be bad news bears for the headshot status. 8 seconds to go. All of Rebel is close to that next lane. Here comes Identivez with the update. He's going to run right into one player. Here comes the incendiary. Gets one to go. The second one boxed them off from the hill. Shots connected. All down. All dead. Pittsburgh Knights, they take the lead yet again. 3-2 this time, Jacob.
5-5 round 11. Let's go, baby.
That's how you flip the switch, calling from golf to basketball. They're in the bottom of the ninth. Only one round left for either one of these
End of the fourth
teams.
quarter.
Somebody's about to score a touchdown, but Adverse goes down. Rise strikes first in the matchup. 4v3. Another player caught out of position. The Lancer Fire is there. Solars has some backup in the form of Chaos, and that's going to give him the confidence to move up in this position.
Solar moves back up to that box, and now it's 4v3 still. Chavi's going to get 2v1 here at the top side of the map toward the long shot, bouncing in, trying to make something happen, trying to make a miracle happen. He goes down. 4v2. They got a 2v1 here against Rush. Can they get him down? They do indeed. 3v2 situation. Solar might be stuck between a rock and a hard place. If he tries to run down that whole hallway, he's going to get absolutely chopped. He's going to go down. Quick revives coming out. Team revives are in, but there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. Trapped like rats in a sewer system in New York. They're going to go down. Rise. They answer back with 6-5. They win map 2 over Abuelos Jesus Nietos. They will take it to escalation all tied up, Jacob. We come back over here to map 2.
So I'm just happy for Rise not kind of giving it down there, because I think they were kind of trailing in that map as well. So be able to pull it back gives them hope. It gives them confidence. It's Fearzly is trying to give himself some free frags, and this time around he's trying to rotate it back. He knows how much more of an impact is there. Down coming out, frag after frag, and there goes the connection from downtown. 3 players dead. Last one alive is going to be Kardia. He gets a down, but that's where the song and dance ends. Pittsburgh Knights now move on map point.
Oh, he's hitting him again with his own arm. Oh, he's shaking him off. Oh, they're kicking him. Oh, the huge manatees.
Manatees?
Yeah, the huge manatees. Or is it the humanity? I don't know. It's 5-2. Knights have won 4 in a row.
Oh, don't ever change. Don't ever change. You're the national treasure. We know you are.
Woo! We got possibly one last round to live in this map 2. I don't know if you can hear me busting at the seams with excitement for whether or not we're going to have 2 different tied games going into map number 3. One way or the other, we're rolling a spawn here, trying to get into this next fight, and flashes will go out. Jumping up to the top side of the platform, Raver's going to be met by 2 players from Rebel. There's going to be one down. There's going to be a secondary revive coming through, looking to pick up some more kills. If the Knights can turn this on their own head, they're going to win this one. It's 3v2, 1 player caught. That's going to be cracked. He's going to try to slip away. Kardia tries to rotate over all by his lonesome. Down and dead. They kick him square in the head. They take map 2, 6-2. And ladies and gentlemen, I know you just saw a commercial screen. I hope you liked it. I hope you loved the tracks. The voice of God is laying down, because we are gonna be right back with both matches tied up 1-1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the final matchups of the night. We are deep in the heart of things as both teams, both matches have finished their second map. And boy howdy, we've got 2 knotted contests. One between Abuelos Jesus Nietos, the end versus Rise, and the other one, an all Latin American regional rivalry between Rebel and the Pittsburgh Knights. Jacob, what have you seen so far? What team has the momentum? Is it both teams that won map 2?
I do think it is. I think Rise winning that map against Abuelos in an 11-round fashion is the confidence boost they need, but then it's also the breakdown that usually happens to a team like Abuelos. On the other side of things, though, the Pittsburgh Knights showing that they do have some gas left in the tank versus a Rebel roster who's catching fire at the right moment.
undoubtedly one of the most poignant statements you've ever made, Jacob. Cannot doubt the certainty in which you said that. Love these highlights, though, that we've getting to see between Rebel and the Knights. I specifically love that last one where we had that big scenic shot where we see the fragmentation grenade leave a crater in the ground where a person was standing just a moment ago. I mean, just a few breaths before, there was an entire character. Meanwhile, we're about to go into Vasgar. Are we going to Vasgar in both matches, Voice of God? Let's go to that one. That's Harbor.
Let's go to that one instead. Vasgar. I feel like this is the first time I'm seeing this map today, Colin. I feel like I've never seen Vasgar before.
What is Vasgar? Have you ever played Vasgar before?
Is that the map with like dirt? I think I might have seen that one before.
I think it's that one map with the thing and then the other thing over by that thing.
Oh, when they run out of spawn and they go that direction?
Yes, you know what I'm saying.
That's Vasgar. That's Vasgar. You should have just said that.
Look, sometimes I forget what Vasgar looks like. Oh my God.
Gosh, for a reminder.
Good gracious.
Do you think we're going to see Bold Talk for Bold Talk, Retros, Ensigns, into another Bold Talk, into another Retro, into a Shock Grenade?
There's a chance for some hills to be capped, I'll tell you what.
All jokes aside, though, I can't wait to get this one underway because, like I said, how well Rebel is playing. They're catching fire at the right moment, but the Pittsburgh Knights, with that map victory, that could be the turnaround that they're looking for, and I'm glad we don't have to wait long to get into that action.
Yeah, without a doubt, coming into the action here, Knights versus Rebel. All 8 players stacked up here at the C to A push. Nobody went to B, and Raver trying to sneak away. Crack might see him on the rotation, which might tip off the side of Rebel to try to take this 4-3 advantage. Flashes are going to come out. Dezo's going to roll to the top side of that stairwell. Right next to Dezo will be Fearzly. Flash comes out. Fearzly will drop that flash at his feet, go for the revive very quickly. All 4 players of Rebel wolf packing around through the stairwell. They're going to get 2 kills here. Only 1 player left alive at the A-hill to try to stop him.
Enemy mark!
I like how Monkyz knows that's their spawn point, so he can just backtrack in his steps, wait a couple seconds. Teammates are going to spawn back up. The information that he's gathering is also important. Spots Crack around the map. He's going to let Raver handle that one as he returns to be the reinforcements on his team. Dezonide with a great flash. A missed input is what it looked like from Xploidz. He opts over the cover at the wrong time. Downs will continue. Eliminations will set in. The Knights have a chance for a triple cap domination here. It's all up to Crack with the world on his shoulders. Rotations coming in. The Knights will get yet another elimination as Xploidz now has to get a reset, has to get an elimination, and he gets neither, and he gets shut down.
Beautiful start by Rebel, getting all the kills around the map, going over to the A-hill, but what a turnabout of fair play. The Pittsburgh Knights, they turn it on its head. They triple cap, dominate Rebel here to win round number 1 off of the backs of some pretty gamey plays left, right, and center at that A-hill after the full swipe and sweep of the entire Rebel squad. Jacob, I am beside myself. We saw 2 Boltocs go down. I don't think I've ever seen that.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it at all, but I'm interested to honestly see who's going to pick them up for their respective rosters, because like I said, it's like a shotgun that doesn't chunk, and you can shoot it from far away, and it's going to be up to Raver and Crack here in the situation with that extra punch that they're able to pack here. Identivez goes down early. Great smoke to kind of cloud the play that's coming through. They go 4 there on that side of the map in back-to-back rounds.
Real quickly, you said that the Boltok is a shotgun that doesn't chunk, and if it's picked up in the hands of Identivez or Dezo, it's a shotgun that doesn't chunk in the hands of a hunk. I'll tell you that much. Them boys be looking so fresh out here every weekend and every day of their natural born lives. 2-1 hill advantage in favor of Rebel once again. And now they will see if the Knights can pull back and retake against Rebel once again, as they did in round number 1. Boltok out, missed first shot by Raver. Now looking toward Crack, who is at that L cover, will be awaiting somebody to possibly make a mistake. But this is a good setup, really, for Rebel. They're continuing to add in some pressure and some damage. Pittsburgh Knights, they rotate all the way across the map, forcing Rebel into their hands.
Shots on, they get it down. Going to get that kill onto Raver now. Take the Boltok off of the map and continue to hold court over a 2-1 hill advantage.
Monkyz knows he has to stay alive. That even though the neutral is going to go on over to Rebel, it's about not wasting the time going on to respawn. He knows his teammate's going to spawn back up, either reinforcements on that side of the map, as he's going to know he's the solo player on this one, as Xploidz backtracking in his steps to put out that Lancer damage to try to make it a lot easier for his team to shut down an eventual push. Into 1v2 situation. That's a quick shutdown and a hill that goes back on over to the Knights.
Big shot on. Dezo goes down. 2-1 hill advantage back over to the Pittsburgh Knights momentarily. C and B, and they were challenging or threatening A for just a moment, but Xploidz is going to be looking for the next player from Pittsburgh Knights to get shots on. C Hill under contestation will be put here under at least a little bit of an offensive retake by the side of Rebel. Dezo steps in for the neutralization, then steps right back out behind the pillar. Flash will come out. Stunning out Kardia, but no push comes through. Looking to try to get another pressure play here. Both players from the Knights continue to step back, and I think a third player's mounted up over there, trying to bait them in. Dezo's here. Good little job trying to bait and switch, but Kardia doesn't get shot on hard enough to go down, and now have a chance here to just try to continue to fight back into this. Double bounce in from Crack. Finds one. Rody Stray finds two. Fearzly. He's going to trade out with him, but Xploidz will be the last man standing at the C Hill, and a 2-1 hill advantage going over to Rebel. Now a triple cap domination being threatened. 1-1, Jacob all knotted up yet again.
This one is really showing that it could go the distance, map after map, situation after situation, because map number 1 was a doozy, definitely going the distance. Map number 2 definitely didn't disappoint. As PK tied up the series, now in this one, they're going blow for blow, and you got to imagine that Boltok's going to be upgraded to a retro. A wild guess. Bet my money on it. Maybe not my money, though. Now I'm nervous. Okay. Talking over strategy, by the way.
What? Let's go.
I don't think it's going to be picked up right out of the gates, obviously, so even our voice of God knows that one to be true, but it's definitely going to pack a punch later on in the game. We know how deadly a Talon can be at close range, and even though this map is wide open, there's still a lot of corners and low passageways you can move through as Raver with Boltok shots. One's going to be the headshot, Fearzly following up with yet another down. That's going to force Kardia to retreat.
Kardia did not like what he saw there. He's going to back on up toward his own home hill here, try to play a little bit of defense with a teammate. They're going to rotate toward that B hill. Dezonide sets up and stands out. And Marcus Phoenix about to have to face a whole nother army in front of him. Nobody gets to a hill, Rebel. The Mr. Krabs play by the Pittsburgh Knights comes through and is true. Dezo plays defense long. Is that how intimidating Marcus Phoenix is?
Now, that was one that Dezonide didn't even expect to happen. He thought there was going to be a contestant out of that one. He moved forward trying to get the elimination, and his response, well, I'll take it. I'll take it. 3 players hopped over to that cover. His hands were definitely about to be full. Whoa.
Whoa.
Finally a change. A big weapon in the form of a Markza.
The UIR would be proud that the Markza has been placed down on their home turf of Vasgar. Uh-oh. 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 There we go. There we go. We found, oh, there we go. There's a body. There's a human. We got, there we're getting stuff. There we go. They called out Dezonide in the corner right there. Good little mark. Markza. Yo, that thing is putting out the damage. That thing putting in work right now. That thing thanging over there.
That thing is so strong in the right hands. Take a little bit more skill than when the game first launched, because you were seeing head pop, everything fly. Back in the past, he's one-handing this Markza right now, and that's what you want to have on your team. A man that has muscles like the gods, as he one-hands the Nasher as well. Goes in. Finally, he gets taken down. Maybe he should have used 2.
Some might say he is a big, beefy boy to have all that kind of muscle.
No, I would agree with that. I would agree with that, Colin.
I'm glad you would.
The marks are going down, though. I'm honestly interested to see if we're going to see any other kind of trick weapon placements, or are they going to go back on over to that retro kind of upgraded to some sort of instant?
Oh, no. Don't show Jacob. Take it off. Take it off. Don't show Jacob. Take it away. Take it away. Don't show him. Oh.
It's okay. It's okay.
Is it?
I'm going to have hope. You got to imagine, maybe he had.
Is that a new friend of yours? They coming over later?
It's Identivez. That's a brother from another mother. That's
is that a
Hamano.
new dish? He ain't even got that kind of hope in me, I'll tell you that much.
I have hope in Identivez. What do you mean, Colin? I always tell you it's okay as well.
We'll find out if it is okay. Identivez is going to come here to the backside of the tank. He's going to throw a flash. Gets the first shot on now, faking the up A. There's a kill. No! Turn around and at least get it so I don't have to worry about you no more, Identivez.
Which is okay. He's just downing him out, playing it right. And he actually did throw that flash. I don't know how. He actually saved it in his pocket as Raver rotating that marks on over. Trying to put a big punch. And I like where he's bringing it in towards the middle. That's going to allow him to put some shots. And his players are going to quickly push up with a shotgun on anybody he gets weak.
Fearzly will throw that incendiary deep behind the tank there, looking for the placement of that thing to be perfect. Won't be able to find a kill. And now we're looking for a little bit of a shot on as they pressure these players back across the B hill. One player, I believe, went down. They're going in for the revives here, but there's the headshot from Raver, and then Fearzly finds the snub for the third down and out. Fearzly will have complete control over that side of the map. They're actually skedaddling away here. They're trying to capture Kardia between three of them.
They do it. They triangulated his location from the cell towers and picked him off, but Xploidz, he's doing what he can. No sneaky plays for you, Dezonide, as they claim back the throne of their home hill, but the lead is what's going to change on over to the Knights with 2 hills to 1. You see the rotation. They're setting up 2 players. Make it 3 with a fresh respawn Dezonide on this side of the map, and that utility that he has is definitely going to be useful. Ooh.
Shots on, there's the flash out, looking to try to get another down here. Deza tries to back off of that cubby, but he gets absolutely flown out. Raver's there for a little bit of a save. He gets the shot for the down, gets the revive as well. Looking off toward that F hill. 2 players from Rebel are trying to fight back against the respawn here. Identivez there in the face of one, gets the down, but gets chunked out, and they leave the hill for Dezonide to finish a triple cap domination, and Jacob, 4-1.
It's like they're a team, Rebel, right? And they're taking the serum like the Nutty Professor, and it's just randomly the serum goes away, and he turns right back in from Buddy Rogers to the actual Nutty Professor without anything he can do about it. That's what I'm seeing out of Rebel. One moment they take the serum, they're looking clean as can be, a team that can go all the way. But the next moment, right before our very eyes, in the same map at that, they look like they're going right back to being the Nutty Professor. I love that movie.
This will be an interesting placement. Hey, I don't blame you. Long shot placed on down, Jacob. Long shot on one end.
Let's make this quick.
Markza on the other end. A whole ton of weapons to be fought over throughout the entirety of this map. Who will come away with the big picks here? Dezonide, first of the fight, will get that incendiary to pick up and try to use in this placement fight. Smoke is out, trying to cloud up the sight lines and the judgment of Dezonide. Looking across here toward the middle, toward that long shot. 1v1 at the opposite end for what I would believe is the pick on the Markza, but I think that's Kardia with the retro.
Oh my God.
Why you don't play around with it?
Don't play with your food at all. Raver's gonna get downed out, and that's where Kardia, it just sucks that he does have the retro and he's just showboating, letting him know is now he has the chance at the Markza, picking up both. And I'm just trying to see what he did there. So he's gonna choose to burn the retro and keep the Markza in his hands. I like it.
Nothing wrong with that. Incendiary goes out, doesn't find anybody on this one. Identivez shot across the backside of the tank onto Dezonide. Now Dezonide will have to hold his position for just a moment. Kardia with a new Markza in hand, just putting out shots toward Raver. Raver will have to try to win a 1v1 on the opposite end of this. Meanwhile, here at the tank, shots all the way across. Nobody giving up their angle or their position just yet. Still fighting over what would be a long shot and possibly a home-to-home stretch on the side of the map. Longer that Raver stuck there, not being able to get a decap, the better it is for the Rebel side. But they're going to get 1 kill, traded out. Now 2 more players left on the stairs, bouncing around. That's going to be Dezonide jumping up to the top side, tries to backslide. Crack will get the down onto him, and the kill comes through and is true. Monkyz last alive for the Knights on this side of the map. Gets 1, now has to win another 1v1. Back A there. He slides in for a second, goes for a couple of back A's, only has damage to put on. Once again, on the opposite side of the map, Kardia kills Raver again, securing the 2-1 hill advantage.
Rebel slowly but surely racking up those points. They're trying to back out of this fight. They got the prize in the form of the drumstick. Almost connects with one onto Dezonide, but repositioning himself is almost so important here. Connects with that one onto Raver, making their journey across the map that much harder. But Dezonide finds that window of opportunity before he gets shut down. But the damage is done. 2v2 right before our very eyes. But reinforcements are well on the way as soon as Crack respawns back up, and they lose a player. So the deaths on the side of Rebel will continue to get staggered.
Looking to try to get another play here. 2-1 hill advantage going back in favor of the Pittsburgh Knights, but they can hold on for about 25 seconds. Rebel can win this round. This will be 19 seconds to go. Knights are going to have to try to get a pick here and a decap, but with Raver getting killed off on the opposite side, Xploidz looks back across the map with the long shot and tries to just give a helping hand. This might be all she said and done, as nobody's close enough to the E-Hill. Xploidz just standing in it like a guardian. He goes down. Chance for a decap by Monkyz, but it's not in time, and it wouldn't have been enough anyway. He was about to get 2v1'd out of his mind. 4-2, Pittsburgh Knights still lead it here in map number 3.
But they're knocking on the door. Victory. They just have to execute and close it down, because if they lose this map, I will be beyond concerned for the Pittsburgh Knights. But on the side of Rebel, this is where decisions are so important. On their side of the map, they're down a few weapon placements because the ensigns are already on the other, so it looks like they're going to upgrade that retro, keep the Bold Talk on the field, and put instant kill potential in the form of the incendiaries.
See, Boltok Ensign, shock on the opposite end. Utility galore out here, being able to be used to try to pick up these power weapons. Meanwhile, we will come off of a respawn here. Early goings of this one, Identivez will run straight to his position. He's not going to pick up any weapons. He's going to trying to get up into the face of this tank to try to challenge it. Flashes go out, one far, one close. He gets the stun on a Dezonide. Dezonide backs all the way up. Somehow Crack made it across the map before I could even imagine him getting there, and got the flank onto multiple players.
Says the situation now is just returning back, trying to gather everything that they can. They know a couple players are going to come off of respawn, so it's up to Crack and Identivez to make the call of where those players are heading. And the spot is so important as well, because they can act like they're going on that side of the map and do a quick cut back, but it looks like they're separating into two different twos. But Kardia, he's going to be the one left by his lonesome, no help on the way. Rebel has to figure out a way to go forward to get the elimination on that side of the map, otherwise they're going to be in a sandwich.
And it's not going to be the good kind of sandwich either. Not a submarine. This thing is going to be like one piece of moldy bread. There's going to be the shots on. Xploidz going in for the revive. Will get it off. Identivez has to roll back here, trying to help out, trying to prevent the triple cap domination. The shock was there. Monkyz has a ton of damage out. He could have gotten it. He gets it down. If he gets the meat shield, this could be the end of things. He's going to get the beat down, but the D-Hill, at the D-Hill, Kardia makes it all the way over to try and keep the round alive for Rebel.
Mark sub was just so impactful there from Raver. He gets the headshot, gets a ton of damage as well, as they're able to hold on to that little bit of a lead that they had and trying to extend it into more with that 2 hills to 1. Dezonide putting the damage out through the smoke, marking up a couple players, and that was absolutely perfect because Raver is able to execute and clean up that elimination. You can see the reposition. They're waiting. They're hoping to get the next sniper in their hands, but it all goes down and boils down to this moment.
And they get this next couple of kills and stay alive in this round. Right there, the Lancer Fire gets 1. Knights up ahead by 40 points or so. Still 40 seconds to go. Xploidz on the flank here, trying to get shots onto Fearzly. Won't get enough damage to really put a lot of difference onto him. Now Fearzly will be looking down to the bottom side, throws out the flash. They're going to be able to get some stuns out as well. Triple cap domination ensuing. Not just yet, though. Rebel steps into the hill. They're going to try their best to get this triple cap domination to go. Yet again, it'll be Xploidz with the only player for the revive. He gets in, melee's out, and another kill comes through. That will be the end of this one. Pittsburgh Knights, they win it 5-2 and take our lead. 2-1 here after map 3.
That's the biggest thing right here, Colin. They're finding their footing in this matchup and slowly but surely rebuilding that momentum that was deflated from them early on. And Rebel, on their side of things, I keep saying it time and time again, it's just inconsistency has been the continued error of their ways.
I'm not going to lie to you. I thought you said that they needed to find their pudding. And I'm already hungry. And I was like, yo, Jacob, why would you even do that to me? Why would you do that to me?
Now I want pudding, Colin.
Now I want pudding.
Because I said pudding.
I thought you said it.
I knew what I said. I wasn't hungry before that moment. Now I want some pudding. Chocolate or vanilla?
I was going to get banana pudding. Ooh. Vanilla wafers on that bad boy.
Ooh.
Come on now. Come on now.
I'm upset I believe I said pudding. The replay is going down. That everything but pudding as you see the damage from both of these teams. But it's Raver, and you can see why a lot of these teams are opting, including Rise, including this Night Squad, to keep that Boltok on the field much, much longer. And you see the man with muscles right there, one-handing multiple weapons. That's something I love to see in Gears. I wish it was something you could replicate.
Yo, the weapons are heavy. I can only imagine how heavy the weapons are. A chainsaw attached to an assault rifle that has 40 rounds in it, brother.
It looks cool.
Does look cool. But I
That's
think,
all
you
that
know,
matters.
the Locusts are technically genetic experiments. They probably got the muscular ability to do it, and the way that the armor's built, or the coalition of ordered governments, there's probably something they can do to get that armor to kind of help them out with the strength, almost like an exoskeleton. I'm getting way off track, Jacob. You shouldn't have gotten my mind going down the rabbit hole of lore possibilities.
I thought you were going to say pudding again. I looked at chat for a second and I saw ham sandwich, and I remember the sandwich comment that I made. Right now, the Knights, they're continuously eating up the competition against this Rebel roster and on over towards Speyer, which I do believe, and anybody can correct me if I'm wrong because I've been wrong too many times in my life to remember, but this is going to go back on over to a Pittsburgh Knights selected map. Am I wrong? Going to be dropped, and there goes the switch on over as you see the Pittsburgh Knights Rebel matchup getting started.
See what they can do here as Rise continues to just mount up the pressure. Rise looks like they're going to be in the driver's seat to finish that one off. We might keep it up while we start this map number 4 for the Pittsburgh Knights. We're going to bring that thing full screen. We know that that's what the map you want to see, the matchup you want to see. Early in this one, Rebel will have control over the top side of that cathedral. They'll be inside of the church, baby. They might be praying to somebody because they're going to need to win this map to get it to a map number 5. Pittsburgh Knights off the respawn, challenging up from their original spawn side as well, and they are actually in the hill. Everybody from Rebel just backs on out, lets them waltz right in, maybe going for a little trap here, but doesn't get anything to go with those nades.
Packet's taken down on the other side of the map. There goes the drop shot. Frag grenade's going to be used, and they end up with 0 eliminations as well. I keep talking about the effectiveness of these weapons, and there goes 2 prime examples of what not to do as all of Rebel gets shut down and denied entry of the hill.
Looking for the next rotation over toward P2. Tie ball game as we have it. And it looks like the Pittsburgh Knights will actually lead P1 with a little bit of a lead. Not a ton, not a lot really to be solidified on. Jacob, earlier in this tournament, I believe we heard somebody talk about how Rebel kind of auto-picks Speyer if it's left in the rotation, and I believe they don't have that much success on it. Is this a head-scratcher for you?
Hey, it's just a feeling. It is a head-scratcher to me, but we're not there in the practices to see how things go, and just because you lose one map doesn't mean you give up, but Dezonide makes you give up. That's 3 straight eliminations, 4th in the book. Lock it up as Monkyz completes the squad wipe, and they get themselves a chance at another full hill.
Well, you see the Pittsburgh Knights inside of the hill, just waiting for somebody to try to pressure into them. Up top of the map, in the middle of that cathedral, will be Dezonide, adding out some damage. Teammates are getting the help needed from the 45 degree. Oh my God, he's giving love while he's stunned, and they both just go on ahead and bleed it on out. Xploidz looking to the top side of the map now, inside of that cubby. This might be a forfeited hill, really, for the side of Rebel. They might just be looking forward to that next hill, because I mean they haven't made a play on it in forever.
And when they finally do, the angles are there, so as soon as they make a play, they're going to get eliminated for it, and all that effort is for nothing as Dezonide gets the free frags towards the top. Crack trying to take him out before he's able to kind of put them to use, and that's going to be a successful, because he threw his flash early on. Crack now holds possession of both of those frags. Somebody on his left. Colin, there's somebody on his left. He doesn't see it.
Left.
No!
Somebody on his left.
Hey, my man. Frags, though? Now Raver has the frags.
Yeah,
hot potato
Raver with the big meat shield, ladies and gentlemen. Raver will drop into the backside of where the shot grenade spawned on a ranked match. And just sit here in the hill. Once again, the early rotation up by 70, and it's only going to get worse from here on out because he's got the 2 frags to use as they try to come down this short alleyway. Please, for the love of all that is holy, do not get a double kill with these things. That will really be deflating.
You see what they're trying to do? They're trying to stretch out the defense. Monkyz is far, far low, holding down the spawn, locking it as much as possible. Dezonide is the flex player. He's going to help either one of these sides. The first down is going to come through. Pistol fire continues. Damage is still out. Frag grenade is now being dished. There goes the downs. No connection with their actual frag as they will live to fight the tail, but the damage is continued as Raver is falling up hot on those heels, making sure nobody can live to tell the tale of the Pittsburgh Knights' pure domination.
Raver looking across in front of him at Kardia. Kardia is going to be caught between a rock and a hard place. Now Dezo with the beautiful Lancer fire gets the down. He's going to bounce up to make sure that that kill is protected. He's going to make sure that he gets bled out for the entirety of the time. 15 seconds to go until the next respawn of the hill. Update for you. I said Rise was going to win. Rise won it. Might as well start betting on them if I'm myself, because it seems like I'm always coming through and true for those guys, but no luck to be had for their fans. The winner of this matchup plays Rise. Is that first thing in the morning, baby? First thing in the morning!
Hopefully they can get some sleep. Affinity definitely has a game plan ready for them for another Championship Sunday. Affinity have seen so many of those sweet Championship Sundays, just like BK has seen so many of the sweet power weapons they have. Frags, drop shot, everything being collected, but both of them being used, dished out to try to stall the members of Rebel from making this push, and it even separates them as well. That's going to allow for that first elimination to be picked up. A second one as well. Crack is going crazy, but he only gets one before he gets shut down. 47 seconds. Kardia, he gets spotted out early. Everybody on the side of Knights, you can see it in your mini-map, trying to close down on those angles so they can put down the team fire from far away.
Enemy spotted!
You see once again, Knights inside of the hill, 200 to 30 now. It's a 170-point differential. Let's see what they need to do. I thought I was like, is he mantle kicking the player that's already down? Because that's just hilarious. Picks up his own Lancer, picks up a new Lancer. Kardia looking across here, sees three players start to rotate into what would be next hill with only 20 seconds left to go. The Knights are already in here. This is just ugly, Jacob. This is not pretty. I don't know what I'm supposed to take away from this.
I like the way you called it ugly, because I'm thinking the same thing. Rebel fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down as Dezonide continues with the support fire on his backside, knowing he could trust his teammates with every fiber of his being. He gets one. The Lancer fire continues. He gets shut down, but he's a selfless player. He don't care as long as his team wins the fight, and it looks like they might have that chance. But there goes Kardia, returning to that scene of the crime, trying to even it up, but the reinforcements are much quicker on the side of the Knights. That's because of the spawn point that Monkyz and Fearzly were able to grab.
See what Raver's doing, just bouncing around through the backside. He's just having fun. He's hanging 10 right now. He's feeling loose, baby. Looking across the back, he sees Kardia. He's gonna get the shots on, and the mark's out. Smoke comes through. Monkyz is probably waiting for somebody to hop that cover, try to run out through the front side, because they will see them get shot up as they come to the front side of that hill. Monkyz right here with Fearzly, waiting in the wings, going for the bait and switch, but he gets shot on. Huge old brick coming through, but I mean, cool. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say about this. Look at he's just playing with him. Jacob, I don't want to be this mad. I don't want to be this mad.
I mean, they're just trying to build themselves that confidence to get back in it. It may not look pretty to us, anybody at home, but they got to do what they got to do. If teabagging and showboating above your opponent while the match is active, while you got over 200 points, you have a deficit to come back, hey, it's all you. But you got to show it and prove that you did it for a reason. But Monkyz waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Multiple players bypass him, and it turns to bite him in the behind. Now a 4v3 will continue, but Raver's that third player, slow to follow behind, trying to put the pistol fire and alleviate some of the pressure as the Pittsburgh Knights are continuously backtracking to make sure they have teamwork-oriented strategy first.
Fearzly in the front side of this offensive, or defensive really, will try to stop them from coming through the respawn. He's going to see three people in front of him. Identivez with the drop will throw one out at that well, force him to rotate out toward that other side of the map. He's going to get 3v1'd inside of the spawn. They're going to get the kill onto him, and they will start to make their way toward the hill finally. 35 seconds to go until victory. He's going to call out that 2 to 3 are coming through the back door. Dezo will take up the front lane of this hill. There is a little neutralization spot right in that little cubby that you might be able to step up into, but 25 seconds to go. They got to start getting into those neutralization spots. They got to start trying to go for something here. 2 players inside. Now Raver on the flank. We'll get a big body shot here. Xploidz goes down. Looking for the third right here. As one more player's left standing. He goes down and is taken out. And Jacob, 20 points to go.
Come on, I don't have all day.
Yeah, come on, I don't have all day.
Off of this hill. They know he's there too. Oh, but they didn't act on it. They didn't act like they knew. He goes back to back. 2 players shut down. This could be the final moments of the match, and it's all up to Crack, and he doesn't have enough time. The Pittsburgh Knights will seal the deal, close it out, and win the match 3-1.
Incredible comeback there, Knights, after losing that first map in scintillating fashion to the side of Rebel. Really thought they were on the back foot. Rebel gave them a very gamey performance in map number 2 on checkout. But like I said, it was the Pittsburgh Knights that checked in. They get map wins on 2, 3, and 4. They move on to Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, to face Rise. First thing in the morning, the Knights go over Rebel. Rise goes over Abuelos y sus Nietos. And my goodness gracious, what a couple of matchups to end the night. Both of them going to map 4. Both of them having the underdogs taking at least a map off of the chalked favorites coming in from that championship bracket. I know we're going to throw it over to the analyst desk in just a moment, but Jacob, any final thoughts for yourself of the night?
Yeah, I'm just extremely happy for both the Knights and Rise for that being the last matchup today, because they had so many speed bumps, so many roadblocks along the way. They end on a victory, on a high that they need, so now they can go back to the drawing board right before they go to bed tonight, figure out what really went wrong, so when tomorrow they wake up bright and early, battling against one another towards the top half of the rankings, they have no excuse left behind.
Well, for the last time on a Saturday night, let's bring in some of the most handsome, some of the most talented, some of the greatest talkers on the planet. No doubt about it. It's our analyst desk.
Appreciate you, Colin. Great job on the cast, gentlemen. Have a great evening. Y'all deserve a nice night's full of well rest. And again, much love to you guys. Jacob, Colin, take it easy, guys. Much love to those gentlemen. Fallout here joined alongside Ribs and Ashes to break down what we just saw there. Again, all 3 of us predicted it. Unfortunate that Rebel wasn't able to force that game 5, but 3-0, 3-1, I think we all called it. Pittsburgh Knights advanced. You know, Rebel obviously made it look a little interesting to start, though, Ribs.
Yeah, both of those losers quarters matches. I mean, Rebels and Abuelos both winning that first map. I thought they win that first map. Surely they could steal an execution, maybe get to a map 5. But, I mean, like we talked about, Ashes, it's tiring. There's a lot of matches that those 2 teams played. The Knights and Rise will move on to tomorrow, playing in that losers semis finals matches. Top 4 seeds, all 4 of them making it to Championship Sunday. And on the side of Latin America, it's really just the Knights and Dyslexic left. It's their only hope and maybe their first championship.
Crazy to think. Go ahead, Ashes.
I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. I think that I'm sure that we're tired. I can't imagine what the players are feeling right now. It's been a long day for everybody, and they've been grinding through all of it, having to play at their absolute best along every step of the process. So, I think there were some slip-ups, both from PK and from Rise on those first maps. It seems like Control might be that game mode that can just, slip away from you before you know it. But we're going to jump into some highlights here of the PK versus Rebel match. And, it started off, it looked like it was going to be, kind of what we expected, convincing. But I think Rebel found a little bit of energy somewhere in here.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they came out swinging means a lot, but I think that was one of those like last ditch puncher's chance type of moments. And once they couldn't win that execution escalation, they just ran out of steam. John, I don't know. I was rooting for both Rebel and Abuelos to get us to a map 5, but neither one of them could really do it after that first map.
Yeah, it would have been insane. Would have been fun to watch, of course, to close out Saturday night. But, indeed, similar stories for both matches here. Rebel on checkout did start strong. It looks like they were continuing where they left off with gaining all types of momentum. And it was just fascinating, right? The fact that they were able to bring back Control like that, that's what makes that game type so fun to watch. You could be down 150 points like Rebel was and bring it back. And I got to say, kudos to Identivez. I mean, he played out of his mind, tournament of a lifetime. This guy, 10, 15 years in his competing career, ever since he was literally a child playing Gears 1, 2, and 3. It's been amazing to see that he's still competing at such a top level. But this PK squad, I think, just pound for pound, is just a better team, Ash.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're not only a better team, but they also have that like young gun talent that we've talked about for a couple other rosters. And I think when you have that young talent on your team, you have that just kind of natural slaying ability. So when you get into this 9th hour of tournament day, you have just something that you can fall back on, and that's this consistent ability to shoot their guns straight. If comms are starting to die down a little bit, if everyone's starting to get a little sleepy, you have that, safety net that they can rely on. And PK definitely has that. They've also got the veteran leadership in Dezo, and it looked clean. They looked like they knew what they were doing. It started off, like we said, on the control a little bit rough, but, really their strength as a team, which is their pace and just their teamwork overall, started to shine through.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you, they did lose a map to Rebel, and they got 3-0 by the Kansas City Pioneers. I mean, so if you had to kind of tier these teams going into Championship Sunday, would you agree that, PK is maybe in an A, maybe A- tier compared to KCP being in an S tier, maybe United joining them?
Yeah, no, I mean, at this point, it's KCP, United are two undefeated teams, undoubtedly. It's like I said, on the side of Latin America, their hopes, it's not the Knights, it's obviously not Rebels, definitely not Abuelos or Team Queso. It's Dyslexic and Dyslexic alone. If United could somehow beat KCP, and I say somehow because KCP looks amazing, but if United could do it, Dyslexic could win a tournament for Latin America, and that'd be the first time we've really seen that since Ghost Gaming and Identivez. But yeah, right now the Knights and Rise both need to go back to the drawing board, but they've made it to Championship Sunday. Of course, John, go to sleep, reset, go to the use their time to watch a little bit of VOD. Hopefully get to sleep early, because I know some of these teams have trouble winding down after such a hard day. That adrenaline is still there. You're exhausted, but you can't sleep. But you have to find a way to reset and get into tomorrow recuperated and rejuvenated, ready to make some upsets. And if you're on the side of winners finals, just continue to do what you're doing on KCP and United.
Yep. No, that's exactly right. It's going to be interesting. No, I mean, we did say, I think it was, I can't remember, it was you, Ash, or someone else who said, look, for Rise, sometimes they start slow on a Friday, really good on a Friday and do good on a Saturday, or good on a Saturday but not good on a Sunday. Maybe they got their bad day out of the way. If you're looking at teams like Rise and PK, what are you doing in this scenario? Ash, you've been there, with Optic, right? Going through that losers bracket on Saturday night and having to know that you have a long losers bracket run ahead of you on Sunday.
Well, step one is that first rebound match, and both teams have passed that, check mark so far. So they now have cleared Saturday. Their full attention can be on Sunday. So they can start looking at what teams they're potentially going to play. They can start scouting out those matches, forming their game plan, going back to old scrim VODs and anything that they can do, looking at the matches that the team that they're going to play has played throughout this tournament, finding those weaknesses, and really just structuring that game plan. The stressful part is done, but you need to rest, you need to prepare, and you need to execute on that plan that you're preparing tonight.
Yep, so you got to put in the work tonight, as hard as it is after a long day of Gears. Typically, at a LAN event, go back to the hotel room, unwind, relax. This time around, it's jump on a call, a Discord call or a Teams call. It's kind of crazy to think about. What these guys need to really, really do a good job of unwinding, get back to the drawing board, and doing what they need to do to set themselves up for success tomorrow. Ribs, anything you'd add to that kind of equation? I know you guys have been there as well in losers bracket, a lot more than Ash's was.
No, Ashes knows exactly what he's talking about. I mean, he's been there before and he's won before. It's all about that preparation. Preparation is the key to spontaneity. You get into a tournament like this, there's so many things that can happen. You make it to the next day. That's all you could really ask for. Prepare for that next match. You know who you're playing against. You know who's left in the tournament. And you know all these matchups like the back of your hand. So Just get some sleep and get ready for tomorrow.
Well said. Well, look, we can sit here and assume and guess what they're going to do, what they need to do. How about we hear it directly from the horse's mouth? We got Taylor, a.k.a. Reflections, live with an interview with Dezonide, the team captain of Latin America. Take it away, Taylor.
Of course, with the man, Dezo himself. Dezo, an incredible player. I've been a big fan of you for quite some time. I had a chance to talk to you, of course, before the Winter Major. Now we get a chance to talk again. First and foremost, how you feeling? Big victory over Rebel.
I mean, we feel good for win this eliminate match. We feel good to beat Rebel, but we're not happy because we need to beat one of the top teams if we're gonna be the winners of the major.
That is a fact. So being one of the top teams, not being happy. Perfect transition to my first question. You're in winner's bracket. You play against Kansas City Pioneers. We know, or at least I know, chat should know about the history with you and Kansas City Pioneers. What happened in that series? It wasn't pretty.
I mean, it's not much to say about us in that match because we just played bad. They just beat us very very bad. I mean, I have nothing to say. They play good, and we just need to regain and come tomorrow and play better.
Simple as that, right? Play better, which I know you guys can absolutely play better. You showed that against Rebel, especially that last map on Speyer. It was just truly dominated from your perspective. I had a chance to talk to Fearzly. I don't know if the interview's been shown, but he gave me some insight onto the mentality of your roster heading into the spring major. And it was a bit more of a loose approach. Not loose in the sense that you just don't want to play or you're not taking the game seriously, but more so you're just playing gears. And that's pretty much as simple as that. You're not going into it thinking, I want to be a champion. I want to be the first Latin American team to win a championship. It's more so you want to come into this major, play the best that you can play, and then leave it at that. Is that still the case?
I mean, we of course we wanna win the championship, but
Sure.
we are here just to play. We already know we can beat every team. We already did too much time in the Pro League and in the OMG. We just need to come to Championship Sunday and win and play our game and be better than the other team. It's just simply as that.
Championship Sunday, though, this is a notorious day for some rosters, some for in North America, obviously for Latin America as well. You've been here many times, Dezo, right? You have a lot of second place finishes. Of course, the elusive first place has still not been within your grasp. Championship Sunday is tomorrow. How are you feeling about that? And what is your mentality and your roster's mentality heading into tomorrow?
We just need to wake up to beat Rise and then beat the loser of United or Kansas City and then win the finals. It's just simple as that, to be honest. We already did everything. We just need to focus up, like play our game, hit shots, and just that.
Fair enough. And Dezo, from a personal perspective, how do you feel like you're playing during this major? You feel like you're playing pretty well?
I think I'm playing good. I'm playing my game. I always focus in my gameplay. I know what we need to do. I try to say to my teammates like the things I see they do wrong or the thing I see I do wrong. I always try to say everything of that. But I think I'm playing very very well. Very well.
I think you're playing well too. Dezo, like I said, I love playing, or excuse me, I don't play against you. I would get destroyed. I like at least watching you play and spectating and commentating you. But it is a lot of fun, and you have impressed me in Split 3. Dezo, you've been genuinely on fire. Been a big fan of Pittsburgh Knights as a whole. I think your teamwork is phenomenal. But, of course, I've got to leave it to you to talk to your Latin American fans out there. What do you have to say to them?
Thank you, Reflection. And para toda la gente que me está viendo en el stream, que nos ha apoyado todo el evento, mañana vamos a conectarnos, bros. Vamos a prender el Xbox, vamos a disparar y vamos a ser mejores que ellos. Es lo único que tenemos que hacer, bros. Lo único que les pido es que confíen en nosotros. Nosotros vamos a dar lo mejor de nosotros. Vamos a hacer lo que se pueda. Vamos a rifarnos. Y pues nada, muchas gracias a toda la gente que nos apoya, que siempre está ahí para nosotros. Yo sé que ya son los últimos eventos de Years. Y ustedes quieren ver a un campeón de Latinoamérica y nosotros vamos a dar lo mejor porque así sea.
Well, tomorrow's going to be a big day, Championship Sunday. Last question before we get out of here and conclude the interview. You got to play against Rise tomorrow. It's going to be a tough matchup, but how are you feeling about it?
I mean, Rise is a very good team. We already know that. We know like KCP, United, or Rise, it will be there in the last 4 teams to play with.
Sure.
They are good. They are really good, but I'm confident that we're better than them.
In what regard? Because I'm kind of curious from a personal perspective. Better than them, teamwork-wise, slaying-wise, how are you better?
Every aspect, to be honest.
Oh, I love that. Plain and simple, every aspect. Keep it simple, baby. Dezo, like I said, I'm a big fan of you. I'm genuinely a big fan of Pittsburgh Knights, and your organization and your team has always represented Latin America to the highest degree. I wish you the best of luck tomorrow, brother.
Thank you, papi.
Hey, got to pass it back over to our analyst desk. Close out the night. Today was incredible. Let's see what the analyst desk has to say.
Thank you so much, Reflections. And, that was a fantastic interview, except for the 15 last questions that you had for Dezonide there, Taylor. No, I'm just joking. Had to give you a hard time. But no, good to get the perspectives. And it was awesome that one question led to even further insights and analysis from Dezonide, who's beaming with confidence right now, Ash. Do you think he should be beaming with confidence, or is it a little fake?
I think if you're a PK fan, that's a good sign. I think Dezo is showing that he's still confident in his team, he's still confident in himself, and he's still confident in that they can take on anybody who's left in this tournament. And they're keeping their eyes on who's next, which is Rise. So they're focused on Rise, then they're focused on the next step and the next step, but they're not looking too far ahead. Next step is Rise. They're ready. He's prepared. We're better than Rise in every aspect. I love that. That's breathing, breeding, blooming, every other word you could think of confidence. This man is ready to play. Let him play right now, honestly. I say they take it if they play right now.
Not right now. Not right now.
For our production's sake, let's give him a no. Just kidding. Yeah, no, it's exciting stuff nonetheless. And we obviously know what their matchup is next. Let's take a look at the losers bracket to see the journey and how they got there. For those that maybe missed it a little bit earlier, it's been quite the journey for a few of these teams. Abuelos with the big defeat over Defiance, 3-2. They lost to Rise 3-1. So on the flip side, Knights beat Rebel after Rebel beat Team Queso 3-2. So top 4 seeds remain in this one. It'll be the Rise versus the Knights tomorrow to kick off the broadcast, and it is going to be one exciting match, that's for sure. Meanwhile, in our winners finals, again, we said top 4 seeds. It's the teams that handled business in Pro League, the teams that handled business in the pool play on Friday. Well, it's United and the Pioneers. And look, obviously the Pioneers are the dynasty right now, the reigning champions, but United's looking pretty darn solid. So as we wrap up some final thoughts here, Ribs, what do you expect from both of these matchups tomorrow?
Well, I know they're going to be great matches. I know both of these teams are going to come out swinging tomorrow. As we said before, we said it in the opening segment, 2 more final Gears majors. This is now or never for a lot of these players who haven't won before. Players like Powers that are trying to come back and regain his title as the best player in the world. Players like Dyslexic who have the entirety of their region on their back. So all the storylines are there. We talked about Rise and PK peaking at the right times. Well, they still can prove that they are at the top of their game even after tough losses. Everything is still there. It's Gears Major Championship Sunday. Of course, I'm going to say it, but you know it. You're not going to want to miss it.
That's right. Ash, your first time on the desk with us, man. It was a pleasure. How was the experience for you? And any final words?
It was awesome. And I want to thank all of our awesome competitors who have put on such great matches today that we've been able to break down here. Thank you guys for having me on. I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm excited for Champ Sunday. And I'm excited to see the battle between our top 4 teams.
That's right. It all comes down to Championship Sunday, baby. This is where champions are crowned and where we as fans get to enjoy nothing but pure entertainment. It's going to be an amazing kickoff with Rise versus the Knights, who will advance to the losers bracket finals to take on the loser of United versus the Kansas City Pioneers. I'm getting excited just reading it off and talking about it. It's going to be one hell of a day. We got 2 majors left in the Gears 5 esports program. Let's make them laugh. Let's make them memorable. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great evening, everybody. And on behalf of myself, I'm Fallout alongside Ribs and Ashes, our entire production team. Thanks for watching tonight. We'll catch you bright and early tomorrow. Thanks, y'all.